Have you been struggling to run a super smooth fitting? Everybody files into the room. Everybody's talking about that or this. What did you do this weekend? How was lunch today? You have a really hard time getting everybody to focus in the room, run your fitting, and get shit done. Trust me, as a technical designer for the last 20 years of my apparel career, I have been there. My name's Rachel Erickson. I'm a performance apparel expert, and I have been in so many fittings throughout my entire career. And it was one tool that we created while I was working at Pearl Zumi as a team. We all sat down and wrote a fit protocol and checklist, and it changed the game. So I have revamped that protocol and checklist, and I am now offering it to you for free. If you go to the Unmarked Street website and you go into the freebies page, it is right there for you to get today for $0. And in this video, what I want to do is walk you through the protocols and checklist and let you know how it all came to be. So here we go. So one of the top things that we did was set some upfront rules. We wanted everybody to be on time. A lot of times in a fitting, people don't prioritize that as a meeting that they need to be on time for. But if you lose 5 minutes up front, you might not get to fit every single garment that you have in your array of styles that need to be fit today. So asking people to be on time and make it a priority was a no-brainer. We also wanted to be really clear that everybody's focus needed to be on the fitting. So we were asking people to keep opposite conversations outside of the room and really focus on the conversations that were being had around the model. We also wanted to make sure that the leader of each segment was in charge. So if you don't have roles and responsibilities at your company, how do you know who's supposed to do what? We assigned those roles, mapped them out here, and when each person gets up to do their portion with the model and with the garment, it is their time to shine. So the first person who gets up during a fitting is the lead developer. They are up there explaining exactly what it is that we're fitting, how they prepped the garment. Did it fit well? Did it measure well when they did a pre-fitting on a mannequin or on a different body? What did they find? What was the previous fitting like? What were the comments from that previous fitting? Getting everybody prepared to dive into all of the next sections. Another key role of the lead developer while they're up there is to take all of the before videos and before photos. So if you're sending any of that to your factory to display, hey, this is what it looks like when we first tried it on, after we pinned and cut it and did all the things we needed to do, this is how we wanted it to look. That can be crucial to running a great fitting and writing your comments later. After that initial portion, get your designer up there to make any changes that they want to make to the details. Do they want to move some seams around? Do they not like where the pocket is sitting? Do they want to make any changes in the way of the aesthetics so that we can get that checked off the list before we start diving into any fit? The reason that we bring the designer up first is because if we go through the entire fit session and then bring our designer up at the end, if they wanted to move a seam or they wanted to move a pocket or they wanted to delete something from the style, that can definitely affect what you can do with your pattern and with your pins during the fit session. So getting them to do their portion first will really indicate to you how you need to run the fitting portion when it comes up. And that is definitely next. So once your designer has indicated everything that they want to change or keep on the garment, you go in with your scissors, with your pen, with your chalk, every single element that you can find. All of it goes straight in onto the garment, and you're pinning up the garment, you're marking on it, anything that you think you need to do to manipulate that garment so that the pattern adjustments you will make afterwards are going to yield a better fit. This is where the product developer and our pattern engineer work together in the room to make sure that they're communicating consistently while the fitting is going on. Any pins that are put into the garment or any markings that are made should indicate to the pattern engineer exactly what they need to do when they go back to their computer and make pattern adjustments. If they argue with you that something you're doing is not possible to do on a flat pattern, this is where that discussion happens and you make any adjustments as you're going. Next, we want to invite our merchandiser or our product line manager or product manager, depending on what you call them at your company. We want to invite them up to talk about a few key things that they were expecting during the fitting. Does the fit and the function of the garment meet their design brief? Did what they wanted for this style actually look like what it should be? We're also going to talk through costing at this time. Have they gotten a cost quote from the factory? And are they able to tell you whether or not it's too high or too low based on the targets that they set? If a cost is coming in too high, this is the time of the fitting to start discussing what needs to come off of the garment or what needs to change so that we can meet costing better. Last but not least is a recap. The product developer is going to get up one more time and just go through all of the notes that they took. Everything that we went through from the design segment through the fitting all the way to merchandising is going to be recapped for everyone to hear it all at once. And if any objections are made, this is the last time to do it, because once we exit the fit room, that is when we are going to then go and write our comments and send them to the factory. We, of course, also then want to take our after photos. We took before photos, we take our after photos, and that goes to the factory for clear visualization of what's going on with the garment. The remainder of this amazing document that we are sending out to hundreds of people now in our community is a checklist. So essentially, we're helping you fit a top or a bottom, going from top to bottom of the garment itself, starting at the neckline for a top, then going into the armholes, then fitting the body, looking at body lengths, looking at sleeves. Make sure you don't miss any of these details by keeping this handy checklist with you. If there are other essential elements for your brand that you know you need to go through, for example, when I worked at Abercrombie, we had on all of our fit checklists, is it soft? We know we needed every single fabrication to feel as soft and buttery as it possibly could, because that's how a lot of people shop. They run their hands through the clothes racks, and if something feels really soft and dreamy, they pick it up and they try it on. That was key for us then. So on our checklist, we also had a checkbox, is it soft? And if we didn't check that box, we hadn't done our jobs quite right. Running a fitting takes definite skill, talent, and a lot of experience, but you can absolutely do this. Setting guidelines and this protocol, whether it's too harsh for your brand or not harsh enough, you can judge it exactly to be what you need it to be. But this can be a great starting point for you. And then you want to bring these checklists to every single fitting. You can print out a new sheet every single time you go in. Make sure that you're checking every box and you're not going to miss anything on any fitting ever as you move forward. It's our goal at Unmarked Street to make this process as easy as possible for you. So if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out. We look forward to hearing from you soon.